A jade-blue streak of light tore through the silent night of Silas's primordial forest. It hurtled down from the dense atmosphere, trailing an ethereal plume of smoke, before slamming into the ground with a deafening roar that sent tremors rippling through the earth. From the epicenter rose a pillar of strange luminescence, shooting skyward before abruptly extinguishing, leaving only the oppressive hush of the damp woodland in its wake. At a nearby research outpost, Dr. Anya Sharma bolted upright in her bunk. The blast and its otherworldly glow had shattered her fitful slumber. An eager xenobiologist, Anya had spent 3 years on Silas studying its unique ecosystem and bizarre life forms. Her burning ambition was to prove life beyond Earth, and Silas, with its intricate biosignatures, seemed poised to unlock the universe's greatest secret. She slipped into her lab coat and raced to the control center. The giant console before her still displayed the seismic anomaly in flashing data streams. Dr. Ben Carter, a stoic geologist, frowned as he studied the readings. "What just happened, Ben?" Anya asked, voice taut with concern. Ben shook his head without looking away. "Not sure, Anya. It wasn't a quake or a typical meteor strike. The energy release was too sudden, too immense." At that moment, a red alert blinked and a shrill alarm cut through the control room. A mechanical voice intoned, "Unidentified object breach in restricted zone Alpha 7. Delta-level security protocols engaged." Alpha 7, that was where Anya's team had uncovered an underground cylindrical structure weeks before, an enormous enigmatic pillar of unknown material pulsing with weak but regular energy bursts. They had yet to determine its origin or purpose, but Anya's intuition told her it might be revolutionary. "We have to go there," she said urgently. "This could be connected to the explosion." Ben nodded, worry etched across his features. "I'll alert security. But Anya, be careful. We don't know what's down there." Moments later, they were boarding an armored drop vehicle, 3 armed security troopers already strapped in. Designed to shield scientists from Silas's hazards, the craft roared off into the night, weaving beneath bioluminescent canopy that cast eerie emerald shadows. On her navigation display, the Alpha 7 marker pulsed in rapid succession. As they neared, a sharp ozone tang filled their nostrils. The vehicle's headlights revealed a vast clearing, trees violently sheared to stumps. At its center yawned a deep crater, and looming beside it a colossal figure. The being stood over 7 feet tall, clad in sleek black armor streaked with strange green glyphs that glowed softly. 4 slender arms each gripped an alien weapon, lethal in appearance. Its elongated head bore no visible eyes or nose, yet a gentle radiance emanated from its forehead. The creature observed the crater for a moment, then slowly turned toward the vehicle. A profound silence settled. Anya's heart pounded. This was unlike any native Silasian life she'd catalogued. Without warning, one arm rose. In its palm coalesced a radiant green orb of energy. The security team leveled their rifles, ready to fire. But before the orb could launch, a voice, clear and insistent, echoed in Anya's mind. Not words she heard, but thoughts, powerful and intimate. You are." Startled, Anya stammered, Who's there?" The telepathic voice hesitated. "I perceive, resonance, a soul rodstithany," a foreign term resonating with kinship. Ben glanced at her. "Anya, you okay? Hearing things?" She shook her head, striving for calm. "A voice inside my head." The alien seemed to sense her confusion. It lowered the energy orb slightly and sent another mental communique, this time firmer. "You, Earthling, your soul, echoes, mine kindred spirit." Anya's face drained of color. Kindred spirit. The notion was absurd, and yet she felt an undeniable connection, a hum of affinity she could not deny. Before she could respond, the creature took a deliberate step forward. Security tightened their grips. The moment crackled with tension. Would they engage, or could understanding prevail? Then the orb flared unexpectedly, not at the drop vehicle but skyward, bursting into a column of brilliant light that split the clouds and bathed the forest in uncanny radiance. From above, dozens of similar emerald blue vessels plummeted through the atmosphere at terrifying speed, small craft trailing the same azure glow that heralded the impact. They streaked toward Alpha 7, then shouted, "What are they? Who are they?" Lasers erupted from the troopers' weapons, red beams carving through the night. In vain the ships moved too swiftly. A few crash-landed around the crater, disgorging creatures identical to the one before them. Only these were more feral, their limbs bristling with hostility. Amid the chaos, that same mental voice thundered in Anya's mind. "Danger, they come for me." Electric fear jolted through her. "Who are they? Why pursue you?" she projected with desperate clarity. The kindred alien turned, its forehead light intensifying. "They are hunters. They seek the energy beneath, and me, energy beneath." Anya's thoughts raced to the mysterious cylinder. Could it be the very prize these invaders coveted, and this being somehow linked to it? One of the new creatures let out a piercing screech and lunged at the dropped vehicle. The troopers unleashed a deadly volley, but the creature's armor held firm. A blast rocked the vehicle. Ben bellowed, "We're surrounded. We need to pull back." Yet Anya's eyes never left the creature before her. Foregoing her fear, she felt a surge of empathy, a conviction to protect. The voice in her head, though alien, carried earnest desperation. "Please, help me. If they capture me, all will be lost." In that crucible of peril, Anya made a bold choice. Fleeing went against every protocol in her training, but she could not forsake this being. "No," she yelled, voice resolute. "We leave no one behind." She turned to the alien. "Can you lead us out?" The creature paused, then its forehead glow softened. "You trust me." "I don't know why," Anya confessed, "but I feel we're connected, and I won't let them take you." Another explosion rattled the ground, damaging the dropped vehicle beyond repair. Time for hesitation had passed. "Then come," Anya cried, grasping one of its forearms. The skin was cold, textured like living alloy, but she held fast. Surprised, the alien quickly returned her grip. "Follow me." With uncanny grace, it sprinted into the forest, weaving through phosphorescent undergrowth at impossible speed. Anya stumbled to keep pace as bullets and laser fire followed them, the furious shadows of the troopers backing her bold escape. The sudden onslaught had shattered the research base's fragile safety. Anya's dream of peaceful discovery had transformed into a desperate flight alongside an alien companion. No longer merely a scientist, she was now bound by a profound interspecies kinship and hunted by forces that coveted Silos's hidden power. As the drop base faded behind them, Anya realized the path ahead would be fraught with unseen threats, and that trust alone might be her greatest weapon. In the dark heart of Silos's wilds, she and her newfound ally pressed onward, united by fate and the urgent hope of survival. A shroud of impenetrable darkness cloaked the Silosian forest as Anya, and the alien she now knew as Kalen, pressed onward. Their hurried footsteps crunched through the damp undergrowth, mingling with the faint hisses of strange insects. Almost immediately, their first obstacle emerged: treacherous terrain. Ancient roots twisted across their path like enormous serpents. Yawning chasms lurked beneath layers of rotting leaves, and sudden banks of thick mist slithered in, reducing visibility to mere meters. Kalen moved with assured familiarity, as though born to these harsh wilds. The soft glow from his forehead lent Anya a beacon in the gloom, but her human legs soon ached. She stumbled and scraped her hands and knees more than once, yet the fear of being left behind drove her to her feet. When they paused for a brief respite, Anya risked a question. "Who are those hunters? Why do they seek you, and that structure?" Kalen's luminescent eyes dimmed with sorrow. "They are collectors. They cross star systems, stripping away ancient energies and the creatures that wield them. They believe power belongs to the strongest." Anya pressed on. "And you, and the structure itself, what power does it hold?" Kalen hesitated. "The pillar is a gate, a passage between dimensions. I am its guardian. A tightening knot rose in Anya's chest. The cylindrical tower was no mere power source. It was a portal, and Kalen its eternal sentinel. No wonder the collectors pursued him relentlessly. They moved forward, only to confront their second challenge. Silos's native predators, awakened by their flight. Bizarre beasts emerged, steel carapaced insects, chameleonic reptiles, and winged creatures whose glowing eyes pierced the dark. Kalen avoided conflict, guiding Anya along hidden paths he knew well. Under his tutelage, she began to interpret the forest's slightest whispers, to recognize tracks in the soil, and to distinguish poisonous flora. Yet ambushes still occurred. In those moments, Kalen unleashed blades of pure energy from his wrist cuffs, carving a path through hungry jaws. Anya watched in awe as his lithe form moved with uncanny speed and strength. Once, trapped in a shadowed cavern by a pack of snarling hunters, Anya tapped her xenobiologist instincts. She spotted a vulnerable patch of exposed flesh at the nape of one beast's neck and flung a razor-sharp stone. The monster collapsed. Kalen's eyes widened. Then he nodded in approval. Your instincts are keen. That moment cemented their partnership. Anya was no longer merely protected. She had become indispensable. Despite their species divide, they shared a single goal: survival. But the collectors would not relent. Droning devices buzzed overhead, and scanning lasers swept the ground, forcing the pair to constantly evade detection. On one breathless refuge, they stumbled upon a crumbling hut, evidence of an ancient Silosian civilization. Inside, rock carvings depicted beings like Kalen interacting with a luminous structure, unmistakably the Dimension Gate. One frieze showed armed aggressors attacking its keepers. Kalen's crestfallen expression betrayed the weight of history. This is my people's legacy. Generations have watched over the gate, but the collectors, they always seek to claim it. Anya's resolve hardened. Kalen was not just an individual. He embodied a venerable lineage sworn to safeguard the cosmos's thresholds. If the gate fell to the collectors, unimaginable catastrophe would ripple through star systems. A fierce inner conflict stirred in Anya. She had joined this flight on instinct, to aid a creature in peril. Now she faced a war of cosmic magnitude. Could she match the collector's might? Could she truly trust Kalen? Yet each time Kalen shielded her, each danger they overcame together, her doubts receded. She sensed his genuine concern, proof that bonds of spirit can surpass even the coldest armor. Their flight reached a desperate fever pitch as they crested a rocky ridge, hoping to find a hidden sanctuary. Instead, they discovered an abandoned Earth expedition relay station, its comm arrays shattered, its consoles dead. Anya's heart sank. No rescue would be coming. Steeling herself, she vowed they would rely only on their own strength. Further on, a hidden cave behind a waterfall offered temporary refuge. Within its cool depths, Kalen retrieved a mysterious crystal device, its pulsing light promising a protective energy field. But it required time to recharge after each use. Suddenly, the echo of engines shattered the cave's calm. The collectors had tracked them down. 3 diamond-shaped pursuit ships, their cold searchlights slicing the darkness, hovered overhead. From the mist poured armored hunters, weapons raised. "They're here," Kalen whispered, his forehead glow paling. Clutching the crystal, he added, "This is our chance. When I activate it, an energy barrier will shield the cavern long enough. And after..." Anya's voice trembled. Kalen met her gaze, determination blazing in his eyes. "You must reach the gate's core. It lies deeper within. Only you resonating with me can trigger its self-destruct sequence." Self-destruct? Anya's mind reeled. Destroy the gate. If the collectors seize it, the cost is too great. Kalen urged, "I will hold them. You must go." Faced with a crucible choice, Anya's thoughts flickered to the comrades she'd left behind at the base. She would not abandon another soul. She squared her shoulders and met Kalen's pleading eyes. "No," she said firmly. "I won't leave you. We fight together. Surprise flashed across Kaelin's visage. But you are unarmed. You will. I have this, Anya said, holding aloft the small dagger Ben had given her. It was no match for energy rifles, but it was hers. And I have you. A tentative smile curved Kaelin's lips. Then we stand as one. He activated the crystal. A blinding white field erupted at the cavern's mouth, rippling into an impenetrable wall. Armed hunters slammed into it, only to recoil. Go, Kaelin roared, pulling Anya deeper into the labyrinth. What followed was their most harrowing trial. Outside, the hunters battered Kaelin's barrier. Inside the winding passages, Anya and Kaelin raced toward the gate. The cavern's twisting tunnels forced them over jagged boulders and through needle-sharp stalactites. Though wounded, Kaelin guided and shielded her with unflagging resolve. Then a squad of hunters intercepted them. Kaelin shoved Anya behind him, lashing out with his wrist blades. She watched helplessly as he moved like a whirlwind, until sheer numbers and coordinated tactics pinned him down. Plasma blasts seared his armor. Instinct flared within Anya. Remembering Ben's melee drills, she charged. The hunters paused in shock as she lunged, dagger aimed at jointed armor. Her strike found a vulnerable seam. A warrior fell with a shriek. That opening gave Kaelin the moment he needed to rise and strike back. Together, human and alien fought in unexpected harmony. Kaelin's superhuman agility and Anya's fearless cunning. They drove the hunters back foot by foot, through the cave's twisting corridors. The climax came when a vicious blast knocked Kaelin to his knees. A hunter loomed over him, weapon raised. Without hesitation, Anya hurled herself between them. A beam seared past her shoulder, scorching her flesh. She fell, pain dazzling her vision. Kaelin howled, unleashing a surge of energy that flared from his entire body. His forehead beacon exploded in brilliance. His wrist blades elongated into lethal spears. In a furious storm, he swept the remaining hunters aside. When the dust settled, Anya and Kaelin stood amid silent enemies. Anya pressed her hand to her wound, forcing back tears of agony and relief. Kaelin knelt beside her, eyes filled with concern. "You are hurt," he whispered. "I'm fine," Anya gasped, forcing a smile. "We did it." Their victory, stained with sacrifice, was only temporary. The collectors would return, stronger and more numerous. By standing beside Kaelin, Anya had proven something far stronger than any weapon, the unbreakable power of solidarity and human courage. As they limped deeper into the cavern's shadows, the fate of the gate, and perhaps the cosmos, rested on their next moves. But for the first time, Anya felt no fear of what lay ahead. She and her alien companion would face it together. The aftermath of the cavern battle settled into heavy silence, broken only by the ragged breaths of Anya and Kaelin. The dim glow of the crystal still bathed them, illuminating blood-slick stone and the fallen bodies of the collectors. Anya's shoulder throbbed, but her burn proved less severe than she feared. Kaelin fared worse. His armor shattered in places, each movement a painful effort. "We must go," Anya rasped, struggling upright. "They'll return." Kaelin nodded, bracing himself against the cavern wall. The gate lay not far ahead. They pressed deeper, winding through dark corridors and vast chambers etched with alien glyphs. At last they emerged into a vaulted hall, and there stood the towering cylindrical structure, pulsing with soft, pale energy, the fabled spatial gate. But they were not alone. 3 more collector vessels had landed inside, and armed hunters ringed the gate from every side, having discovered a hidden entrance. "There is no turning back," Anya murmured, tightening her grip on the dagger. Kaelin set the crystal on the stone floor. "Place your hand upon the gate's surface. I will initiate its self-destruct. Only the resonance of your soul can trigger it." Anya stepped forward. The gate's metal skin felt cold and impossibly smooth beneath her fingers. She glanced at Kaelin, leaning on fractured armor as the hunters closed in. "Together," she said. Kaelin gave her a faint, courageous smile. "Always." He laid his hand on the crystal. A surge of energy raced through him. Simultaneously, Anya pressed both palms to the gate. A peculiar warmth flowed into her, connecting her spirit to the ancient machine. Fleeting visions flashed in her mind, memories of a lost civilization, the solemn duty of gatekeepers, and the dread of those who would steal its power. The self-destruct sequence began. Runes along the gate blazed to life, and a piercing hum echoed through the chamber. The collectors realized the peril and charged. Kalen roared, unleashing the crystal's final burst. A shock wave hurled several hunters aside as he collapsed, utterly spent. "Go, Anya," he whispered hoarsely. "Finish this." Anya closed her eyes and poured every ounce of will into the gate. Her heartbeat synchronized with its rising pulse. Then a blinding white light engulfed the hall. The explosion rent space itself. When Anya awoke, she lay amid shattered boulders and choking dust. The cavern had collapsed, leaving only ruin in its place. Kalen's motionless form lay nearby. Scanning the wreckage, Anya saw no trace of the collector ships. They too were obliterated. Crawling to Kalen's side, she pressed her hand to his chest. He did not breathe. A strangled sob caught in her throat. She had lost her alien comrade, the one who called her kindred soul. Yet the gate was gone, and the collector's threat ended. They had succeeded. Days later, a rescue party from the shattered outpost found Anya alone among the debris. They stared in disbelief as she recounted Kalen's sacrifice, the gate's destruction, and the savage collectors. At first skeptical, they were soon convinced by fragments of extraterrestrial technology and the collapsed cavern's ruins. Anya's world was forever changed. No longer just a xenobiologist, she had witnessed interstellar civilizations' wonders and perils, and forged an unbreakable bond with an alien guardian. Though no immediate threat remained, questions lingered. Who had sent the collectors? Might they return? And what of Kalen's people, the ancient gatekeepers? Back on Earth, Anya pored over recovered artifacts. Late one night, she detected a faint signal, an echo of the resonance she once felt through Kalen. Hope stirred in her heart. Perhaps others like him still lived among the stars, and her journey was far from over.